This week on Stogie Geeks News, Drew Estate and Matilde have some new releases. Altadis USA is going to announce a brand that you might recognize here in the U.S. and some FDA updates. All that and more, so stay tuned. This is a Security Weekly production. Welcome, everyone, to Stogie Geeks News for May 27th, 2016. I'm your host, Paul Asadorian, joined on the lines via Skype by Mr. Will Cooper.
What's going on, Paul?
Hey, we're broadcasting from G Unit Studios here in Rhode Island, and this is, as far as I know, the only show dedicated to cigar news. So, Will, what's going on in the cigar world today?
Yes, so Drew Estate has announced a project that it really wasn't a secret. It's been talked about for a while. It is the Drew Estate Florida Sun-Grown Project. And with this, as the name indicates, it features tobaccos that were grown in Florida, specifically at a farm owned by Corona Cigar Company's Jeff Borshowitz in Clermont, Florida. He's been growing Corojo and Criollo for the past 3 years, and that tobacco has been making its way down to Drew Estate, where they've been fermenting it, and they've come out with a couple of blends that are going to be making their debut in about a week right now. What they describe this cigar is they describe the use of the Florida tobacco as a accent tobacco. So look, they're not building a blend entirely built around the Florida tobacco, but they're kind of, I guess, trying to take advantage of the nuances, and that's what Willie Herrera did with this blend.
So the Florida tobacco is not it's not the wrapper, I see.
No, it's the filler.
Okay.
Yep. So the filler is a combination of the, actually on the main line, it is a combination of Florida Corojo tobacco from Jeff's farm and Nicaraguan filler. It uses a Honduran Habano binder and a Brazilian undisclosed leaf wrapper. 4 sizes: a 5x54 Robusto, 6x52 Toro, 6.5x54 Bellicoso, and a 6x60. There's a second blend though. They're doing what they're calling a limited edition trunk press, which is entirely a different blend. It's a 6x54 trunk press, which is kind of that rounded kind of box press, Cuban style, Connecticut broadleaf wrapper, Mexican binder, Nicaraguan, Honduran, and Florida Corojo and Criollo. And from what I heard, the Criollo tobacco had a lower yield on that farm, which is why it was limited. Here's the thing. Right now, they're launching it at least at Corona Cigars, where it's going to be available for now. It was unclear if it's going to be more of a wider release, but I imagine they're not getting high yields on the Florida tobacco, so it may be kind of limited for a while.
That's really cool. Sounds like something interesting to try. And Matilde has some new releases as well. Yes.
So we actually broke some news this week on that. The Matilde's announced their third line, the Matilde Quadrata, which is a box press line, an all box press line, joining the Matilde Renaissance and the Matilde Oscura. Features an Ecuadorian wrapper, a Dominican binder, and a combination of Dominican and Nicaraguan fillers. 3 sizes: 5.5x50 Robusto, 6x52 Toro, and also a 6.5x54 Toro Grande. And this, like I said, it's an all box press lines, and made by Jose Cejas down in the Dominican Republic.
Yeah, and his releases have gotten some rave reviews in the past couple of years, so this should be a good win for him as well.
Yeah, I mean, this, and obviously they're getting this out before IPCPR. Actually, it's going to be launched at IPCPR, but these, with the FDA coming, this is the line obviously they wanted to get out. But I know this has been in the works for a while. They've been kind of toying with this, so I'm pretty excited because I've liked pretty much every one of their cigars that have come out right now.
Yeah, you have been really high on this brand. So
yeah, yep. And we've had Jose on a couple of times too, which was, and he's a very interesting guy to talk to.
And Altadis USA brings back a brand that you may recognize.
Yeah, you're going to make me say the name. Por Laranaga.
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's
so,
Laranag.
Larnagua.
Yeah, I think you're getting the N wrong. Laranagya, something like that. I can never say it right either.
Yeah,
That tilde, that little squiggly line over the N means.
Enye.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. I heard a lot of interesting things about this blend. It's a brand that kind of went dormant in the Altadis portfolio. I heard a lot of saying knee-jerk reaction to the FDA. I don't think that's the case for a lot of reasons. I think Altadis doesn't do anything knee-jerk, for one thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the second thing is that they actually did start to take this brand out last year. They did a TAA Polar release. So there's already been a little precedent that they were going to start reinvigorating this line. They gave it some new packaging. The blend is very similar to what it used to be. It's an Ecuadorian Connecticut 2012 vintage wrapper, a binder of Dominican Piloto 2012 vintage, and a filler of Dominican Piloto 2012 vintage and Dominican Olor 2013 vintage, which right there tells me the blend is different because that's different vintages of tobacco. And I'm not sure of the specific Dominican components in there. So, but the original one that Altadis had wasn't an Ecuadorian Connecticut wrapper.
No, yeah, it wasn't, right? It was like a Habano or something else, right?
They had other offerings, but they did have a Connecticut.
Okay.
Yeah. 3 sizes: 5x52 Robusto, a 6x43 Grand Corona, 6x45 Grand Corona, and a 6x50 Toro.
I'd be curious to smoke this, Will, and see how it compares to some of the Connecticut's that I love to smoke, and to smoke a Dominican Puro, essentially. No, it's an Ecuadorian. Ecuadorian Connecticut Dominican binder and filler. So
right.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting one to kind of compare to see if it smokes more like a traditional Dominican Connecticut or more like some of the newer stuff or somewhere in between.
Yeah, it's very interesting because Altadis, I think, has a good reputation for Connecticut cigars. Monte Cristo White series is one of their go-tos. I don't expect this to be a powerhouse of strength and probably not a heavy-bodied cigar. It's actually hit the market from what I've seen already. Mm-hmm. So it's already starting to make its way into the stores. And we have a picture. I think we'll have a link to the article on Cigar Coop. But the packaging was absolutely beautiful they did on this cigar.
Yeah, they did do a nice job with the packaging.
Really nice job, yeah.
And you had some FDA updates, primarily, I think, reminding people to sign the petitions that are out there.
Yeah, so sign the petitions. I know we're all sick of petitions, but we have to sign them. They're out there for better or for worse, but if we don't sign them, we look like we lose. So, there's rumblings that there'll be other things going on, but for now, that's what we have to do, and I'm just encouraging everyone to sign that. There was another lawsuit filed by the vape industry over the past week as well. So now there's 2 lawsuits by the vape industry against the FDA. Very, very interesting. What I've learned is there's a lot of lawsuits against the FDA, so I'm hoping something comes of that. But when you see this many lawsuits across the whole board on the FDA, I think they're used to it.
Yeah. I don't think they're really shaking in their boots. I agree. I agree.
Yeah, so we just got to keep the pressure on as much as possible.
That's it. So go sign those petitions. And thanks for tuning in to Stogie Geeks News. That's right. We broadcast the main Stogie Geeks show every Monday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And you can check that out at stogiegeeks.com/live and get all the latest cigar news and reviews at cigar-coop.com. Thanks, everyone, for watching.